So if she's getting up, I'm just gonna get her back in position, flip her on her back, take a second to settle her down and love on her a little bit. Hey, settle down. That's a good girl. Hi, Kat here from Standing Stone Kennels, and we have Fox with us. She is 11 weeks old, so today we're going to actually show you a little bit of a progress update on everything that she's been working on, which includes a nail trim this morning. So that's what we're going to start with first, and then we're going to move into showing you some of the clicker training that we've been working on, and then just talk to you a little bit about her progress in general. So when we do nail trims, we need to always make sure that we've got time for those. So we've got time this morning. Just get her comfortable on her back. I'm not putting a ton of pressure again, just holding her in place here, getting her comfortable laying here, not letting her nibble on my hands. So if she does, I'm just going to settle her down. I've got my nail clippers. And we're just going to take just a little off the edge. She's doing real nice for that. Got one left on this nail, or this paw, I mean. I'm just scraping along the bottom of these nails with our little clippers until I feel a catch, and then I'm just trimming perpendicularly to her nail. One thing that people ask a lot of times is there's this nail guard on here. Do you just basically cut until that point? No, I flip that out of the way because that is a really good way to accidentally quick your puppy. Settle down. Because all puppies' nails are different. All the lengths of the nails are different, so we can't just cut them to the same standard size and length every time. Or you will either not take off enough or you'll take off too much. So just doing a little nibbling. I'm just putting my hand over her muzzle gently, but to get her to settle down. If she continues nibbling or getting wilder, I might have to up the pressure just a little. But she's not being overly wiggly. Definitely, as a little puppy, not more than I can handle. She's being pretty sweet about this. Good. So before I switch her for her back legs, I'm going to help her settle down just a little bit more. Stop the nibbling. Stop. Good. Take your time. Make this an enjoyable process, not a flip your puppy on their back, pin them down, cut their nails, hog tie them here. So that as she gets older, this process will be even more enjoyable and not a battle when she's bigger. So I'm going to flip her around front to back. Right now, I could probably reach her back nails from the other direction, but as she gets bigger and longer, I'm not going to be able to reach those back paws. She's going to try and sneak away. I'm just going to hold her here. But I wouldn't be able to reach her back paws when she's facing the other direction, especially because I'm short. So get her used to being flipped around the other direction. She's being sweet. We'll just trim a little bit off of these. I'm just keeping her from escaping. We don't want her to have that opportunity to escape. You just relax a minute. So I was able to trim one nail, but she's getting awfully wiggly. So instead of just trying to rush through this process and say, oh, well, we'll just let you up or we'll let you get away, I'm just going to slow down, calm her down, even if that means I have to only clip one nail at a time. So if she's getting up, I'm just going to get her back in position, flip her on her back, take a second to settle her down and love on her a little bit. Hey, settle down. That's a good girl. Good. Because not only will rushing through this process teach her that she can fight the entire time and we'll just quick get this done and over with, but if you rush through this process, there's a good chance you might accidentally cut a nail too short, and we don't want to hurt her. There. No, you're not getting away. Get her back into position. Good. We got one last nail to trim. Now that we're finished, I'm not just going to be like, okay, get up, quick. You're free to go. We're going to settle her down, love on her a little bit more so that this is fun, this is nice. This is when we get some nice extra love and attention till she's not struggling, wiggling, fighting to get away, which she's just hanging out, chillaxed here, being all sweet and cute. Good girl. Okay, now we can tell her she can get up. Good. Yeah, you didn't want to just run off. You wanted some more love? Okay. So we're going to get up and we're going to move over here into a little bit more open area with our clicker and our morning meal for Fox. So a few of the things that we've been working on so far with her has been working on sit, working on recall, calling her here. She's like, I know what this means. And then we just started place training in her last video. So teaching her to go somewhere on her dog bed with the cue kennel. So the cues that she knows are sit, here, and kennel, as well as we're going to talk about how this place training on a dog bed is going to really segue into teaching her to go anywhere that we ask her to be, including a crate. But we are going to ask her to sit. Good. Then here. Then kennel. So move a little more in the direction of the dog bed to give her a little more context clue of what we're asking for. So I'm going to do a few reps of each thing, kind of do a sequence as well. So she's also got into a little bit of a bad habit about jumping up. So to work through that, I'm going to not let her jump up, and I'm definitely not going to reward her for that behavior. Just a little bit of light pressure on her muzzle. Get down. And now, a couple things to keep in mind. I'm just trying to keep her settled down while I explain this is anytime she's getting rewarded, whether that's a treat or something like that, we want to make sure that we're not marking behaviors when she's actually jumping up. And I can also kind of anticipate when she's going to jump up. A lot of times that's when I'm stopping, talking, and explaining something to the camera. So we're just going to keep this training session going so that we can eliminate and try and anticipate that that's when she's going to jump, and that we can eliminate that by not giving her those opportunities. So we're going to just get started here. Sit. Good. Kennel. Just build some momentum. Here. Also, I'm going to try and get the treat down closer to her. Sit. So that she's not jumping up at me for that treat. Here. Sit. She's anticipating that I'm going to ask her to kennel, but I'm going to ask her to come instead so that we can work on her just doing what I'm asking for, not what she thinks she's going to get rewarded for. Kennel. Because if we just reward her for what she's doing, whether it's what we asked for or not, she's not going to start distinguishing between these specific cues. Kennel. Here. Oh, she didn't quite touch my hand. So that was my mistake. I actually marked it because she was coming to me and I was anticipating that she was going to touch my hand, and she just didn't quite touch it. So we'll try again. Here. There, she touched it all the way and I marked that better. Sit. So timing is important, and we want to make sure that we're actually marking the behavior that we're looking for and asking for. But here, If you make one mistake in your training session, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to ruin your puppy. You just are going to try and time things better next time. Here. Good. Kennel. Good girl. Sit. So she jumped up at me before she sat. So we're going to try sit and work through quite a few sits here without jumping. Sit. Oh, you dropped that one. Sit. Fox, sit. Good. Sit. Good. Had to process for a minute there. Okay. Sit. Good. Sit. 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 We also want to make sure that we have our puppy's attention when we're asking for a behavior. If she's looking around, she's not necessarily paying attention to me. Kennel. Good. Sit. Here. Still have a lot of focus here with her this morning. Hope you dropped that one. Hey, sit. So we're eliminating a lot of that jumping up at me behavior, keeping this training session going. Kennel. Give her a little body language to cue off of. Good. Good girl. Sit. So she's doing a really good job with this training session. I'm going to go ahead and give her part of her meal here. We're going to work on holding that click for the sit behavior so that we can get the bowl closer and closer to the ground. That's something that we've been working on. Sit. Sit. So if she starts to move, I'm just going to pick the bowl up. Sit. So being patient with this. Sit. Sit. Oh, we're getting really close. Sit. 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 So we got a lot of duration of sitting until I basically had my arm fully extended, and then that's about all we were able to get with her, which we're just going to continue to keep building off of this, being patient in our training session, as well as we're going to be able to keep building off of having her go on her dog bed from a farther and farther distance. We'll start being able to do recalls in more distracting situations. We had done a recall session where there were two of us. That's also a really great way to build distances that we're asking her to recall, going back and forth between us. But she's doing a really great job overall. We just need to keep working on these things. And it's important to remember she's still only 11 weeks old, so we can't expect too much too quickly. And that's why we can keep working on these things with both her morning meal and her evening meal, and throwing an extra few kibbles in the afternoon if you have time. just to keep working on momentum, building reps, and building a conditioned response to these cues that we're looking for. Something else that I wanted to mention is a progress report for Fox is we're still working on potty training. She's 11 weeks old and still having some accidents in her crate and in the house once in a while. We feel like we're doing a really good job of keeping track of when she's drank and when she's going to need to go out, but we're still having a few accidents, and that happens. I mean, she's a puppy. All puppies develop differently. Some of our other puppies have been a little bit cleaner. Some have been a little messier. It just really depends. But one thing that we are going to think about doing is in the next couple of days, if we don't see a pretty good improvement, especially with being really consistent with her potty breaks, by setting timers and knowing exactly when she drank, is we might go to the vet and have her checked for a UTI, because that's always a possibility as well with the more frequent potty accidents. So we'll be checking for that if she doesn't have some drastic improvement here in the next couple of days. So something to keep in mind for your own puppy if you're struggling with potty training. So she's just about finished with that. And I'm going to scoop her up so that she doesn't run all over the place. And I just wanted to mention that we're going to be doing a giveaway today of a nail trimmer and some training treats and a clicker, because that's still what we're working on right now. So one lucky person is going to win that awesome prize. So remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're liking on these videos, sharing the videos, commenting on them so we know that you're enjoying them, and liking the content we're putting out for you. So do that so that you can get entered into one of these awesome giveaways. As well as all of our Patreon members, they're getting early access to these videos. So if you're really working on training your own puppy and you want to stay on track, check us out on Patreon, and we can help you continue training your own puppy with some video exchanges. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon with another video with Fox.